Good evening, everybody. This is Dr. Bashar Wilson with New York Sports Acupuncture. Today, we're going to be talking about the five elements and how they relate to the five major organs of the body and how we go about purifying and detoxing. As we're moving into this spring season, everybody works to do some spring cleaning. And one of the major ways that we can do some of that spring cleaning is by purifying and cleansing our body. When we deal in the Eastern medicine and dealing with the Tao, which is the way of life, the way of the universe, tuning ourselves into our own bodies with our surrounding nature that we live in, with the planets and the greater universe. We can do all of that, and all of that corresponds to the different organs in our body. So, with the Tao, we deal with the five elements of wood, fire, earth, metal, and water, which relates to the liver, the heart, the spleen and the pancreas, the lungs and the kidneys, and even also to the gallbladder, the small intestine, the stomach, the large intestine, and the urinary bladder. So we have all of our major systems in our body, and we want all of that to be functioning and clear and clean, and we want everything to be moving because there's an old saying that a moving hinge doesn't rust. As long as you're opening and closing that door, the hinges won't rust. And we want our bodies to be the same way. And with life in general, this modern society that we live in, we can be bombarded with so many toxins from so many areas, whether we're talking about the pollution in the air outside, we have all of the cars and the exhaust, living here in the big city, just dirt everywhere. You got animal waste, and just, the air is dirty when I'm here in Brooklyn, and all of the trees are really like blocked off with, hopefully maybe with some bricks or something around it to prevent dogs or whatever from urinating in it, and we're not even going to go there. But my whole point is that living here in the city, especially, like, our oxygen is almost rationed by the amount of trees that we have. And to really get a lot of oxygen, if you're here in Brooklyn, you have to go to like Prospect Park, or hopefully you live in a neighborhood that has parks with grass and you just got to go there and oxygenate yourself, or maybe have some plants and things in your house that can also oxygenate your body. But just like I said, just being in the city in general, just in the environment, living in this modern society, there are toxins in the air, there are toxins in the water. Here in the city, they say New York has some of the cleanest water in the country. But, you think about this, what they say, 8 million people in the city, and all of that water from everything that we're doing, from drinking water, from showering, from the toilets, all of that is going back and being purified with different chemicals, and then put right back into, through the faucets. And most people, I think, at this point are like either filtering their water, whether with a simple water filter or something more expensive in the house, or even buying bottled water. But we're also showering in that water and bathing in that water, and all of these toxins, even though it's clean, but the chemicals from that are still going into our bodies. We look at the food that we have. Um, a lot of the food, if you're not cooking it yourself or eating organic, and even then, there may be some things that, just can't not be exposed to in the fields. But with conventional food, you have all the herbicides, pesticides. Then with processed foods, you have all the preservatives, artificial colors, artificial flavors, all of the other different chemicals that go into food. All of these things are also going into our body, into our liver and our digestive system, being stored in our fat, circulating all through our bodies. And we want to detox from that. We have all of the different cleaning chemicals, whether you're talking about your dishwashing detergent, whether you're talking about your laundry detergent and the fabric softener, all of these things, they may smell good and but these things are chemicals, and they're all of this is building up in the body over the course of our lives. Whether you're talking about um, makeup, lotion, just all of the different things. Imagine that you're putting in your body, on your body, breathing into your body, consuming. We want to, on a regular basis, work to cleanse ourselves and detox ourselves, even if we work to be on the most clean sort of diet that we can. We still want to make a concerted effort to take that time to cleanse and detox the body. So as we get further into the five elements of the Tao, we can start with the wood element, and the wood element rules the liver and the gallbladder. Right now, as we're quickly moving into the spring season, the wood element also rules the spring season. So when we look at the liver, from like a Western medicine standpoint, the liver is going to be that main organ of detoxifying our body, whether helping to cleanse our blood from any sort of like medications, any toxins that are going into our body has to go through the liver, and the liver is going to filter all of that out. And so, some of the things that can weaken the liver are like stress, the overconsumption of alcohol. The liver is also responsible for producing bile, and bile is put into like mixed um, with our digestion, and the purpose of bile is to what we say emulsify fat, because we know that oil and water doesn't mix. So how do we get our dietary fats into our system? The bile that is produced by the liver and stored in the gallbladder is released into the digestive tract to help to break down fats in the small intestine and the large intestine and the stomach. And so we want our liver to be functioning for that purpose of detoxing the blood and other fluids of the body, and also for that function of releasing bile. If you alcohol drinker and you drink alcohol regularly, we know that that alcohol can really toughen and harden up the liver. And with alcoholism and long term, it can cause that liver cirrhosis, where the liver is getting so hard that that filtering effect of the liver isn't able to function. You can think of it like a dry sponge. You can't wash your dishes with a dry sponge, and the liver can get that way where it can be so hard that it's not washing anything. And so those toxins are getting right into the body. And then that's where the eyes get the yellowing with the jaundice, and the hands get the yellowing, and all of that. And of course, we don't want it to get to that point, but we want to help to support the liver. And that bile is released into the gallbladder, which is a bag. It's a bladder that stores the bile. And with toxins, they can also build up in the body and form into gallstones. And those gallstones are in the gallbladder. And if you think about it, that bladder can get full of stones, and you may not even realize that you have gallstones. And one of the ways that I think about the gallbladder and gallstones is if you go to a restaurant and you get a glass of water or whatever you're drinking, and you get it with ice in it. That ice is going to fill up the glass, and whatever fluid that you put in there, yeah, it may cool it down, which I don't even really suggest that you drink iced beverages like that. But just for the purposes of this analogy, that ice is filling the glass, whatever water, say, is in there. You take a few sips and the water is gone. Our gallbladder can be the same way, filled with stones. And so we want to help to detox the body to another way to help flush those stones gently out of the body to be released into your intestines, and you just flush them out when you move your bowels. For the liver, the color of the liver is green. So Any green food is going to naturally help to detox the liver. So all of your leafy greens are excellent. I've been talking about leafy greens. If you look at some of our past videos, talking about how they have effect of detoxing the body and helping to protect the body from cancer and heart disease in different forms. And so your leafy greens, whether you're talking about your spinach, your kale, collard greens, cabbage, turnip greens, mustard greens, bok choy, callaloo, you name it. All of those greens are going to help to support the body, going to help to detox the body, and also help to nourish the body. In Eastern medicine, the emotion of the liver is anger. So, too much anger can also um, release different cause the body to release different biochemicals, different stress sort of biochemicals that can store up in the body and literally have you tight. When you say you angry, you say I'm tight. You tight, and so it can literally make your body tight because one of the functions of liver deals with the smooth flow of your body's chi in the body. It's that general, and so we want the body to be flowing and anger and any really other emotion can affect that liver function of flowing well. And so those green foods are also going to help to nourish the liver and help to detox from the effects of anger. So with anger, you want to keep a cool head. You want to relax. We deal with the four agreements where we say be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personal. Always do your best. And what's the fourth one? What's the fourth one? And we say impeccable with your word. Always do your best. Don't take anything personal. And I forgot it right now. My brother's going to get me. And I forget it. But we want to use those different elements, whatever you use for taking a breath. One of the ways also to help keep that chi flowing is to breathe and to relax. Because as long as you're breathing and you're deep breathing, your lungs, which is that pump, is going to be supporting your heart to pump your blood throughout the body, to pump that chi throughout your body. And we don't want anything to stagnate because when you think of things that are stagnant, think of like stagnant water in a pool. And when that stagnant water is in a pool, what happens? The um, algae and pond scum and everything begins to build up and it's just nasty. And we don't want our bodies to be that sort of environment for how those things form in the body to have that effect and make us more susceptible for illness and sickness and disease and low energy and all of that. Moving on to the fire element rules the heart and the small intestine. The fire element also rules the summertime. The color of the fire element is red. So you can think about all of your red foods, and these red foods are also going to help to strengthen the blood, help to move the blood, and in effect with that strengthening and moving the blood, that's going to help the body to detox the blood as the blood is circulating through the liver. Because remember, we're holistic. We don't separate each organ from each other. Everything is working together like a family. Everything is working together like a functioning government, and that government is your body. The heart is also the emperor of the body, that aspect of yourself where your soul is housed, that connects you to your higher spirit. So we want that heart to be strong and healthy and our blood to be strong and moving, and so that your soul can really house in your heart and tap into your higher voice, which is tapping into your higher spirit and your higher purpose. And so we want to be supporting the chi of the heart, the blood of the heart, the yin and the yang of the heart, to have that balance going on. So some of those red foods are going to help to support the heart and also help to detox the heart, whether you're talking about your beets, any red food, your strawberries, your cherries, in terms of herbs, your hawthorn berries, um, Also, your hibiscus tea, which we also know is like your sorrel, that deep red. Anything that's going to be that deep red color is going to have an affinity to strengthen and support the heart, and therefore to like detox the heart. The flavor of the heart in Eastern medicine is bitter. And so, like, bitter foods are not only going to help to support the liver, but it's also going to support the heart. So, as we're going through each of these elements, you want to have all of these different colors throughout the day with each meal, whether you're eating it, drinking it, meditating on the color, and doing different qigong exercises, wearing the color, and really being in tune with that being the dominant organ of that season. The heart also is responsible for like our sleep hygiene. So one of the ways that we can support our heart health, and one of the things that I need to do, is to get more sleep, to get more rest. We're on the grind, working to make it happen. Our minds could be going a mile a minute. We have social media. We have all sorts of different things out here that can keep us going, but we do want to support our heart health and simmer it down, to turn it down. Say an hour or so before we go to rest, go to sleep. We want to begin to get off the social media, turn off the screens, work to really prepare the body for rest. And that's going to support the heart. Next, we're going to move into the earth element, and the earth element rules the spleen and the pancreas. In Eastern medicine, the spleen and the pancreas rule like the digestion. We say the energy of the spleen is responsible for the proper transformation and transportation of food and water. And some of the things that can weigh the the energy of the spleen down, weigh the digestion down, are like your overly sweet foods. And sweet is actually also the flavor of the earth element of the spleen and the stomach and the pancreas. But overly sweet foods, overly rich foods, heavy foods, oily foods, greasy foods, fried foods, and even cold foods. So for all our folks that are healthy, that are eating nothing but salads all the time, especially now in this wintertime that we're coming off of, that are drinking a lot of cold smoothies, that cold is also going to cool down and freeze and just cool off the digestive fire. And our bodies are 98.6 degrees. And so it's going to take extra energy for the body to actually warm that cold up to a way where we can actually process and do something with it. So, we don't want to be doing overly cold foods all the time, especially unseasonally when it's cold outside. In the summertime when it's hot, you can get away more with cool beverages and cold things because it's so hot outside, and it doesn't take as much energy for our body to function. Even going into with the temperature, like right now, we're in that in between time with the spring and the winter, but it's still chilly outside. It's still cold outside, and it takes a lot of energy for our bodies to generate heat, for our bodies to digest our food, for our bodies to think, for our bodies to function. And so we want to support our bodies in every way possible by helping it out, with helping with its functions, whether we're talking about the type of food that we eat, how that's nourishing and moving and cleansing and detoxing the body. The same thing with the beverages where we're drinking, our thoughts that we're having, our sleep hygiene, our exercise, and all of that. We want to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves and treating ourselves with that self-respect, and doing the things accordingly, and also mastering ourselves. What are the things that we need to do to help to support our health? in those ways, whether research that you need to do for yourself or seeing a professional like me and other folks that really do this and can help you create like a personalized plan to achieve your health goals. Some things that you can also do with your digestion, with your food, you want to take some digestive enzymes while you eat. That's going to also help to support your digestion. The emotion of the spleen and the pancreas and the earth element is worry. And so worry can really depress the digestion. Also, the aspect of our spirit with that is dealing with our ability to come up with ideas. So if you're a creative person and you're having writer's block or not being able to function and have those, those type of ideas that you're looking to have and that inspiration, that can sometimes be a function um, holistically of how a weakness in your digestion is then overacting on the spirit of that organ, which then deals with our ability to have ideas. So we want to avoid the rich foods, the greasy foods, the sweet foods, the overly cold foods, and we want to take different foods and herbs that are going to help to detox the body. So the color of the spleen and the pancreas is yellow. So that's going to be all of your yellow foods and your yellow herbs, whether you talk about all of those foods that's high and even your orange foods, all of your squashes and your pumpkins, herbs like astragalus, ginseng, like I say, all of your, like I said, your sweet foods, your pumpkin, ginger, millet, um, all of these things are going to help to support your body. So anything that's yellow and yellow foods, that pigment is naturally in Eastern medicine going to go in to support the earth element, which is going to help to support the spleen and the stomach. The transition time between each season is the earth, and also late summer, what we call Indian summer, is also like officially the earth element. But like this transition time, we say everything returns back to earth for the earth to rebalance it and recalibrate it before we move into the next season. So this transitional time between the winter and the spring, this is an earth time, and this is a great time to help to detox and support your body and do those different things that support the earth element. Next is the metal element. So the metal element rules the lungs and the large intestine. The metal element also rules the fall season, the autumn. The color of the metal element is white. So when we're talking about with detoxing and cleansing, that's the air that we breathe. We call the lungs the gentle organ, because every inhalation and exhalation, we're breathing in what's in our environment. Um, some folks smoke a lot. Some folks are in different environments. So we want to do different things that are going to help to support the lungs. Um, Whether you're talking about fire breaths, where you're inhaling and exhaling quickly, taking deep breaths, going to the park, getting out of, going into nature and just tuning into that, breathing in that oxygen. Our bodies can be very deficient of oxygen because, like I said, we don't have a lot of trees in the environment. So you have to make a concerted effort, especially if you live in the city, to go to the park. You know, um, I go to Prospect Park with my family regularly, and it's not, you would think it'd be more full, or Central Park, and it's in the city, oftentimes have more people in there, but you want to make your way over to the park. You want to get some different plants. There are different plants that help to strengthen and support um, the oxygen in your house and even helping to detox um, your body. So a lot of the common plants that we have in the house, like the snake plant and the philodendrons and all of your ferns, all of these different things are going to naturally give oxygen in the air and help to aerate your house and detox the air in your house. Also, you can um, you can diffuse essential oils So some any essential oil is going to diffuse, that's going to help support and clean the air. But different things like eucalyptus and peppermint, those are specifically going to go in to clean out the lungs and help to open up the lungs, break up any mucus, deepen the breath. But in general, any essential oil, lavender is also going to help to relax the body. Anything is any essential oil that you diffuse into the air. You always want to get your pure organic essential oils, because unfortunately, so many of the essential oils, if it's not organic or coming from a reputable source, may be extracted using chemicals too. So you want to always watch out for that. And unfortunately, you can't trust anything out here just off of face value. You always have to do your deeper research to make sure that you're protecting yourself and your family. So different foods that are going to help to support the lungs are your foods that have that kind of white flesh in them, whether you're talking about like apples, pears, radishes. Also, I said astragalus for the spleen, but also herbs like astragalus, American ginseng. All of these things are going to help to support the lungs. The lungs also open to the skin, and the lungs rule the skin in Eastern medicine. And we know the skin is the largest organ in the body. So we can also detox our skin with things like skin brushing. You can look that up where you get like it's a very stiff brush and you brush your skin towards the body. And that's going to help to move the lymph and exfoliate the skin and help to detox the skin. You can also hit the sauna at your local gym if you have access to that, and the steam room. All of these things are also going to help sweat out different toxins out of the body, because the main ways that we get rid of toxins in the body is by breathing, by sweating, by urinating, and also by defecating, by moving our bowels. And so we want to make sure all of these things are open. And one of the ways that we can support that is by detoxing the lungs with deep breathing. The lungs paired organ is the large intestine, which is your colon. And so we want to make sure that we're eating a lot of fruits and vegetables and taking different herbs and supplements that also going to make sure that the small and the large intestine are being scrubbed, and all of that waste is efficiently being excreted from the body. Lastly, we have the water element, which rules the kidneys and the urinary bladder. Now, in Eastern medicine, the kidneys are the battery pack of the body. The kidneys are going to lend its energy, that fire that sparks all of our organs that we named before: the liver, the heart, the lungs, the spleen, and the kidneys. But the kidneys are going to give that spark of life. um, the kidneys in Eastern medicine rules the back. The kidneys rule the bones, the knees, and the kidneys deal with like our reproductive health and our sexual health. In Western medicine, the kidneys are also going to help to strain and like detox the different fluids in our body. So, if everything we want to be supporting and cleansing, that all comes together. We want to cleanse and we want to nourish. We want to cleanse and we want to nourish. And so, with the kidneys, the emotion of the kidneys is fear. So we don't want to deal in fear. We want to um, deal with bravery, with self assurance. This is where we move in faith, and this is where our spirituality can come into effect also. um, the color of the kidneys is black and like dark blue, like the water, because it rules the water element. The flavor of the kidneys is salty. So all of your like your kidney beans, your dark foods, your blackberries and your blueberries, your eggplant, all of those heavily um, dark, black rice, even, like a lot of dark foods are really difficult to get. But when you get those dark blue, dark purple foods, they always seem a little bit more like mystical to me because it's something that you have to really go out for. That dark pigment is really going to go in to help to nourish the kidneys and nourish the bones. And so for folks that do flesh, you can nourish the bones with like bone broth. There are a lot of different teas. The ginseng tea is going to help with that. Also, on my website, manifestherbs.com, I have herbal formulas for all of the different organs in the body. So, so at manifestherbs.com, I have formulas on there for a liver care formula, which will be excellent going into the spring season of the year. Have a heart care formula to support the heart and heart health. For the spleen and the pancreas with the digestion, I have a digestive support formula, a lung care formula, and a kidney care formula. So all of these are going to help to nourish those organs. I have a detox formula also on there, a colon cleanse formula, a parasite cleanse formula. So one thing with herbs, we call herbs the forgotten foods. Herbs are that part of the diet that we're not going to normally get from other aspects of our, the regular foods we eat. Your herbs are going to be the roots and bark and berry and leaves and stems and flowers and rinds and seeds, minerals, even sometimes animal parts and bugs, even in Chinese herbs. They're different aspects of nature that we're not going to normally consume with our regular diet because a lot of herbs you can't just chew them up and eat them like you would some broccoli. You're going to boil them down in water or even extract them in alcohol to make a tincture or glycerin for the children, to get that in. So you want to make sure that you always are taking your herbs because that is the original medicine that is put on earth for us. We talk about AI. Your phone is always updating. The way that you update your body is with herbs to reprogram yourself with nature. So more on that in terms of for a cleanse. One of the things we have available for those that are ready to go in deep is a 21-day purification program. So with the 21-day purification program is great because you can actually eat the entire time. It's a plan where you're purifying your body, but you're also nourishing it the same time. So even after it is something that you can maintain with your lifestyle. So during the 21-day purification program, you're not doing all of the things that that you don't need to be doing. So there's no alcohol, no smoking, no fried foods, no greasy foods, no preservatives, also no starch, no heavy starches, no grains. So no rice or bread or pasta, noodles, cookies, cakes, all of those types of things. With it, you can do quinoa on the program. You can do sweet potatoes, even plantains, but no white potatoes. And so with it, you're eating a lot of greens. You can also have lentils and beans on it too. And so you're pretty much just eating the way that you know that you need to be eating optimally anyway. So during the program, in addition to all of the nourishing foods that you're taking, it comes with different shakes that you're consuming 2 to 3 times a day, along with your meals that are also nourishing the body and providing extra vitamin, mineral supplementation, and fiber. Also, it comes with some cleansing herbs that are going to go in, and as your body is nourishing and taking all of these nourishing and cleansing foods are going to help the function of your liver, your heart, your spleen and pancreas, your lungs, your large intestine, your kidneys, bladder, small intestine, all of these things, the gallbladder, to help all of these to also detox and function where you're really flushing your system out. When I do the program, I notice that I actually eat more than I normally eat. And when I go to the bathroom, I'm urinating more. And when moving my bowels to get there, we all go or should be going regularly, having really large movements where really knowing that is getting deep down in there and flushing all of that waste out of the body. We're coming off of the winter season. In general, the winter is a time where you're not out as much. When it's brick outside, nobody's going outside. People not moving their cars. People not going to the park as much, not running outside or anything like that. And so people tend to eat heavier foods, maybe partying more. People still maybe you may still be dealing with weight that you gain during the holidays, going out, how you did it big then. And so now is that time to flush that out. And the 21-day purification program is an excellent way to do that. And also, you have your green capsules that come with it. So it's some shakes, fiber, different herbs, green foods. You have like a whole support group around it. Your daily emails. It's a whole great supportive process. Most people, when they're doing the 21-day purification program, they're losing anywhere between 8 and 10, 11, 15 pounds even. And most folks, when they're done with it, like I say, will continue with the diet because they're like, oh, I can do this. It's not something where they're punishing themselves. Some people will also continue and do it back to back to back to back. I've had folks do it like once a month for like 6, 7 months. And one of my folks, he went from about 268 to 218 from July to November. For one of my folks that did the 21-day purification program before. And so it's one of those things where people are like, yo, what are you doing? I get like a lot of referrals from it, also from clients that are, and people that are on the 21-day purification program, because people see how you're glowing, how that weight is melting off, how your skin is looking better, how your energy is better, how your demeanor is better, how you getting your swagger back. As you looking better and feeling better, you feeling better, you feeling yourself. And so one thing, if you need to be feeling yourself more, you need to, I would suggest that commit to that 21-day purification program. So the cost on the 21-day purification program with the shipping runs around like 320, and you get all of those supplements, and with it they actually last longer than the 21 days. And the effect, think of it as an investment in your health, and you can think about all the other things that you invested in and that you invest in that can be bad for you and worsen your health. So, take that time to invest in your health. And if you have like to get more info on that, Dr. Bashar Wilson, actually, before we go into that, um, you can reach me at 888-375-5444. Take a screenshot with your phone to capture that. And, that's my answering service. Give a call there. And also, Dr. Bashar Wilson on all platforms. And so if you want to watch this back again, this will actually be on YouTube. I know some folks, um, if you're on Instagram, it doesn't save on Instagram, but if you're just coming in or you missed it, because I gave a lot of info today, you can actually catch the replay right on my YouTube channel at Dr. Bashar Wilson. And actually all of the past lives I've been doing for the past couple months, shorts, definitely a wealth of information in that way. So, yeah, so let's see the chat. Anybody have any questions? I know I've been going on for a while. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks for your time. If anyone has any questions on Instagram, go ahead and put that in the chat. And if you are on Facebook or YouTube or any other platform, you can also put a question or anything in the chat. And if not, we are going to get prepared to get on out of here. So it doesn't look like anyone has any questions. So on that, I'm going to say thank you again for your time. Hope everybody learned something today. And go ahead, look up the five elements according to the Tao or traditional Chinese medicine and the different organs that relate to that. You know, we have the magic of our phones and Google or ChatGPT, AI, whatever it is, to get more info on that for yourself because you know you're the priest or the priestess of your own self and of your own body, and we want to take that responsibility for this divine form that we have. And the more that we tune in to ourselves and do the things that we need to do, the more we'll tune into our life purpose and make the world a better place and make this life worth living. So, on that, I'm going to say peace and I will see you all next time. We out.